So, like, what's your name?
Chesky Weinberger.
Chesky Weinberger. What do you do for a living?
Topaz HR.
What's Topaz HR?
Topaz HR is an advisory firm. We help businesses with their HR function.
What is it? Okay, first, most companies here don't even know what the word means. So let's explain, what does HR mean?
Human resources.
What does it mean as implemental as a business?
Function between an employer and an employee.
When did you start this company?
3 years ago.
Nice. You have employees work for you?
Yes.
How many?
Just under 20.
How?
A few offers out.
Let's hear about your HR department within your company. Do you have an HR within an HR company?
I am the HR for our company.
You are the HR. I hear. So explain what that means. You have a business, they're functioning, they have 20 employees, and they have no HR whatsoever. And you meet this guy, so listen, let me tell you what you need and why you need it and then why you should hire me. Explain.
And just like when somebody has an income, there's an agency called the IRS that wants a piece of it. When somebody has an employee, there's the Department of Labor on a state and federal level. If you're in New York, there's the New York City Human Rights Council on top of that, and there are a multitude of other agencies that get involved if something goes south. If you call us before something goes south, it'll be a lot easier and simpler than if you call us after it goes south.
Okay.
And from a practical perspective, having people engaged and happy.
Explain, what does that mean? Let's just explain. What does it mean to have the HR department? Explain that. Many companies.
An HR department.
Let's talk openly. A majority of businesses have no HR company. No HR, no
That's
HR
exactly
department.
why we exist.
I'm just saying, that, what's the need? I'm the boss. You have a question, come to me. We'll come to somebody. We'll speak it out. What do you mean HR? What's my HR? So explain that.
So there are a few ways that I'm going to speak in. The answer is in two. There's a technical answer and a practical answer.
Sure.
From a technical perspective, there's the required paperwork, immigration, for example, ICE. They want to make sure that you have
W-2s, 1099s, things like that, fine.
Well, the difference between a 1099 and a W-2 is something that most people don't understand. The consequences associated
They
with
understand.
that.
Go ahead.
It's expensive. It's expensive. Over time, the regulations to have an employee in New York is complex.
Okay.
So helping them understand it and how they can continue to do their business and grow their business if they do it proactively. That's the first one.
Got it.
And a technical perspective, there's also a lot of laws that regulate leaves of absence for a family member, personal, maternity leave, all those. It's regulated. There's a practical, but it's regulated. So knowing what those regulations are, following them, allows a person to avoid a lot of potential headaches. So that answers that part of it. Then from a practical perspective, how do you continue to run your business whilst being in compliance with all these different regulations?
So how do you make a panasa? I have a 20 employee business, and it is actually a good valid question. Many people are lost often about this guy wants to be 1099, W-2, what are the rules, regulations. So it's good, I think, to have a business audit. I don't know if you do that.
Yep, an HR audit.
Are we compliant? What should we fix? Or in general, how do you make your living? How do people pay you? How do people hire you? Explain that.
It's a great question. So one of two ways. Either a project like an HR audit. We do that a lot for startups, small businesses.
What does that run for an average business? What do you charge?
An HR audit will be under $2,000.
Okay.
And that will go through A to Z from when they recruit, post a job. There are regulations that go into that. All the way until how they interview, to they extend.
Will you give them a written checklist what to do afterwards, or exactly what to do?
We'll go through it with them. We're not just going to give them a checklist. We'll actually explain every part and the practical application.
And then give them a list of how to file for the future.
Correct.
Okay, that's one.
And the other one is a subscription model. So if somebody has ongoing questions that come up, there are multiple tiers to it. Depending on their need, there's a tier that fits for that need. And we make it work for them.
You do hiring for companies as well?
Yes.
You have 20 employees. What do they do for you? 20. That's
so
a big business.
Most of them are HROs, which is HRO managers or HRO directors. They're an outsourced HR manager, just like this fractional marketing, fractional bookkeeping.
Explain what that means.
Somebody has a need for marketing and
for HR.
For HR, so you have somebody that's designated that comes down to your organization, gets to know your people, your company, your challenges, and will show up according to your subscription level as needed. Be available.
And is there any question to come? They call this person.
Correct.
They're like an employee in the company.
Correct, to a degree.
Nice. Yep. 20 people. How'd you build it up? That's fascinating. So
I did HR for one of the larger manufacturers over here in the neighborhood. My partner did it for B&H Photo, a tremendous company. He grew with them from the late 90s with 200 employees to a few thousand. Learned on the job. I did the same, 150, 2,000. Learned on the job. And really, a lot of people reach out. You just friends of friends network.
What's your sales pitch to a company that they need HR? Is it because you might get messed up if you don't fix it? Like, what's the
very limited? That's not. It's you want the most out of your people. You want your business.
What means the most? How am I benefiting by?
If you take care of your people, they'll take care of you.
Why is this taking care of my people?
Explain
that. Why isn't HR taking care of my people? My people are happy. They're great employees. They love working here.
Then you don't need us. Maybe you need an audit. You need to get set up from a technical perspective. But if you're nice to your employees and your employees, everything is going well, you got it under control. You might have an odd question, we'll be happy to answer. But that's
Interesting.
up to them.
The idea of, I think, the compliance, is that it's another term for that, and with in regards to hiring, is very important. I don't know,
Yeah.
it's legal aspects to it, obviously, as well. So you guys deal with lawyers to know what's correct and what's not?
Yep, some of them that are over here today, we deal with a lot of, too many, labor attorneys and law firms. That's on a reactive basis. Once they have a problem.
No, but
we're
even on a
afraid, we'll
proactive
clean it
basis,
up.
I think that's a great tool. Like, you know, to take the term HR, like you said, some people need it, some people don't. But the concept of, hey, we'll come in, everyone's compliant. I'll give you a process. This is your incoming process. This is what you do that for companies. I think that's a fascinating thing.
Everyone needs it to some degree, but people that understand people, different business owners understand people, and they can do it well. But many, more often than not, they don't have the time.
No,
to
so
deal
the
with
intake
people.
process. Get this form. Get that form. Like, you know,
Yeah.
you set up with a platform how to intake people.
So we don't have a platform. Choose the platform of your preference, and we'll train you on how to take the most out of that platform. There are a tremendous amount of great platforms out there.
Like what?
There are too many to list. Too many
Okay,
to list.
that's very interesting. Listen, it's a pleasure meeting you. I love the
Yeah.
fact you have this business. You seem like a schmacker guy for HR also.
Yeah,
That's nice.
We put the human in human resource. Remember that water bottle? The human and human resources. Look
Okay,
out for
it's a
the
pleasure
humans.
meeting you. Hatzlacha.
Thank you.